What's going on, guys? This is Zach, and today we have the performance review on the CP3.10. Before we get into the review, make sure you guys follow me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at ZKAllDay1. I'm going to have the links below, and make sure if you enjoy this type of content, you'll leave a like and maybe comment your thoughts down in the comment section below. It goes a long way, and I would definitely like to hear your feedback. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm going to have plenty more content coming soon, so you guys definitely aren't going to want to miss that. But without wasting too much more of your time, let's go ahead and get up close with these. Getting into the traction on the CP3.X, they did perform very well on pretty much all indoor courts, but the moment I took them outside, not only did I notice that the rubber compound was breaking down a little bit, but they also just weren't giving me that great of grip, once again, on those outdoor surfaces. Indoors though, even on the most dusty courts, I did have to wipe here and there, but just with that occasional wiping, I was all set. The CP3.6 is the best shoe in the CP3 line as far as traction, if you ask me, and these are definitely a close second. Once again, occasional wiping on dusty courts and you'll be all set. And of course, any clean court that you're on, wiping won't even be necessary. These things will have you sticking. As far as cushioning is concerned, we have a full-length Phylon midsole with a 9-chamber unlocked zoom unit up front. This was my first time experiencing this different setup of unlocked zoom. I didn't play in last year's CP3 model or the Jordan Ultrafly, so once again, this was my first time experiencing the 9-chamber zoom unit. And personally, I didn't notice too much of a difference from the regular unlocked zoom unit that was found on the Jordan 29 and Jordan 30. The only real difference that it made, in my personal opinion, was just a little bit more flexibility in that forefoot area. Yes, I would have liked to have seen more cushion in the heel in this shoe, but the forefoot cushion alone does make sense since CP3 is a player that is always on his toes. Don't get me wrong, this cushioning isn't bad by any means, but it's not spectacular either. Once again, I just think that there are better options on the market where you can get full-length cushion as opposed to this where you're only getting it in the forefoot. Going back to the CP3.6 again, they used Podulon foam in the midsole, and I really did enjoy that. It was a little bit more plush than what's found on this standard Phylon, so I think if they used that throughout the midsole, then not only would it be more comfortable, but you'd also be able to feel the zoom a little bit more. As far as the materials are concerned, this was definitely my favorite part of the shoe. Jordan Brand gave us performance woven along the upper. This is the first time that that has appeared on the CP3 line, and I must say, this stuff feels just like it does on the Air Jordan 29. I'm not talking that cheap Jordan 30 thin jacquard bullshit. I'm talking about this thick, premium Jordan 29 performance woven right here. In addition to the performance woven upper, you guys can see that there's not only flywire, but there are also those nylon lockdown straps as well. Those two things do a great job in combination with the performance woven upper of just hugging your foot and keeping you secure during that ride. Of course, we'll get more into that during the fit section, but that is just something to note. Mesh makes up the entire tongue of the shoe, and it is very nicely padded, so there's nothing to worry about there. And of course, one of the more noticeable things on the shoe is that rubber cage that comes up the lateral side. The rubber cage is actually a lot softer than it looks. I thought it was going to maybe pose a distraction on my feet when I was playing, but it didn't at all. And of course, its main purpose is to add a little bit in support, but once again, we're going to talk about that later, so that about wraps it up for the materials. As far as the shoe's fitting is concerned, they definitely fit true to size in my opinion lengthwise. Wide footers, I definitely would suggest trying them on just because of that rubber cage. That's not going to stretch like the performance woven will, so that just might cause some problems. Once again, wide footers, just try them on first, but if you have a regular or narrow foot, I think you're really going to like the way these fit. As I stated in the material section, the combination of the flywire and those nylon straps does a great job of just keeping you locked down throughout the entire ride. That rubber cage also continues to the back of the shoe and forms that external heel counter. Not once did I have any issues as far as heel slippage or anything like that. Once again, I was contained at all times and I had no issues with the fit. Lastly, we'll go ahead and talk about the support on the shoe. Once again, the upper is performance woven, so of course that is a softer material, known to have a little bit less support than a stiffer material. So as I stated earlier, Jordan Brand did add that rubber cage. That does a great job of adding more structural support to the shoe. It also is placed on the lateral or outside part of the shoe, so when you're making those quick cuts and change in direction, that support is going to be there and it's going to allow you to make a quick change in direction without ever having to worry about teetering over or anything like that. In addition to the rubber cage, they also added not one but two outriggers on the outsole, both of them in the forefoot. Once again, because CP3 is always making those sharp changes in direction. I'm not saying ankle injuries can't happen, but having two outriggers there is definitely going to lessen those chances quite a bit. Alright guys, that's just going to about wrap it up, the review on the CP3.10. Overall, I really did enjoy this shoe. I think if they just implemented full-length cushion, then it could have been one of the best performers of the year. That's the only thing holding it back in my opinion, but other than that, these things were absolutely fantastic, especially for Jordan Brand at this price point. Usually we just get some bullshit ass tech. There are still definitely better options as far as bang for your buck on the market, but what I'm saying is that for Jordan Brand, this is definitely impressive. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you are new. That definitely goes a long way and I would greatly appreciate it. Once again, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ZKAllDay1. I'll have the links in the description below. Make sure you guys follow me for all things kicks. Not too much else to talk about though guys, so I'll see you on the next video. Peace.